Thank you for taking the time to view this e-learning series video. During this video, we will continue investigating the basic data management concepts introduced in the first video of this series by reviewing key planning tools and forms, and specifically we will look at the MIS Data Roadmap. The roadmap has proven very helpful for Department of Labor Youth Build programs that are starting to build their data management practice, and for programs that have been doing this work for years. We're going to look at the three main sections of the roadmap: the on-ramp, the data management period, and the follow-up period, and talk about tools and resources that will help with the data management associated with each of these sections. While the tools we talk about during this video refer specifically to Department of Labor MIS data entry and timeframes, the main ideas and tools can be applied to any data points you wish. So what is the MIS roadmap? The roadmap is a visual representation of all the high-level steps required to be sure that you are accurately collecting, entering, and checking data for your Department of Labor Youth Build grant, and for program management. The roadmap is divided into three important sections. The on-ramp section is in green and represents the planning phase before your program or cohort starts. The data management period in yellow represents the ongoing data management that is done during the program. And the follow-up period in blue focuses on the data management practices that begin when your students exit your program. We hope that tools like this roadmap help your program make sure that all the necessary Department of Labor data is collected and entered on time. Also, we hope that this tool helps reinforce the need for regular data review, so that you can use your data for program improvement. Most of all, we hope that it makes you successful, and it reduces some of the stress of data management. Let's investigate each stage of the roadmap and talk through how each stage introduces important considerations for building a strong data management practice. Let's take a look at the on-ramp. The on-ramp highlights key program policy areas to consider while you're planning for your cycle or cohort, before you enroll students. Having clear policies in these areas, clearly assigning staff roles, and communicating responsibilities to your staff is key. Planning for and addressing these programmatic issues will help staff make data management decisions that are in line with your program standards and policies. This will greatly cut down on confusion and wasted time. The on-ramp also highlights major categories of student data that your program will have to prepare for. Your program will be responsible for collection and entry of any data points that fall into these categories. There are many tools available to help you plan for this work. Let's look at some planning and management tools to see if they make sense for your program needs. All of these tools, and many more, are available to download with this video and on the Community of Practice. Let's first look at the Factors and Considerations tool. The Factors and Considerations tool helps programs understand and prepare for the Department of Labor performance measures. In this tool, each measure is explained, and key points about program practices and policies are investigated. This is a great resource for understanding how the Department of Labor performance measures can line up with your Youth Build program design. Now let's look at the MIS Work Plan tool. The MIS Work Plan tool is a worksheet that provides a way for program staff to map out who is responsible for collecting, entering, and checking crucial data points. Successful data management practice depends on clearly communicated staff roles and responsibilities. These tools will help your program know what is expected of you and help you assign responsibility for the upcoming work. Now let's take a look at the data management period. This section of the roadmap encompasses everything from the beginning of your cohort and setting goals through the exiting of your students. And this is really where the hard work and planning you have already done will pay off. Every one of these points on this map is shaped and affected by the planning that was done before your cycle or cohort started. Conversely, every step on this section is also affected if your program does not plan. Your program must plan for the collection and entry of each of these crucial points. And to help you with this, we have created many tools that will help your staff collect and enter this information. Let's first look at an MIS blank form. There are many blank MIS forms posted on the Community of Practice. These blank forms are printouts of the data entry forms in the MIS. Use these forms to help your program prepare for what data will be asked of you, and to make sure that your paper forms are collecting all the necessary data. There are blank forms for enrollment, basic skills tests, services, outcomes, exits, and follow-up. Now let's take a look at the Service Tracker. The Service Tracker tool helps programs map their program activities to the service categories that are listed in the MIS. For programs that have multiple staff members collecting or entering program services, this tool is a must. Both of these tools will help your program staff streamline their collection and entry practices. Now let's take a look at the follow-up period. The follow-up period begins after your cohort or cycle finishes and students enter their post-exit follow-up period. Typically, this period is marked by a shift toward follow-up data entry and comprehensive review of your reports and progress towards goals. For a lot of YouthBuild programs, the follow-up period overlaps with the data management period. It may be that some students exit earlier than others, or that one cohort finishes while another begins. During this overlap, your data entry burden may be heavier. And because the Department of Labor performance measures continue to be calculated through the follow-up period, it's good to plan ahead for this period and understand that your work is not done yet. Planning is especially important for programs that know that they will have a different staffing structure during the follow-up period. And typically, data review continues regularly for programs in the follow-up period. Programs with no more active students often begin thorough case file reviews and data cleanup. To help you with review and data corrections, we have created some very helpful tools. Let's first look at the Quarterly Performance Report User Guide. The QPR User Guide reviews important sections of the Department of Labor's Quarterly Performance Report, explains and defines measures, and offers troubleshooting suggestions for common reporting mistakes. Program frontline staff and management can use this guide to help review their data entry, identify errors, and ensure that they are reporting successes accurately. Now let's take a look at the Data Corrections e-learning video. The Data Corrections e-learning video helps MIS users understand how to correct or delete incorrect data in the MIS. If you need to correct data in the MIS, and everyone does at some point, then this video is for you. These data management tools and resources will ensure that programs finish strong and with accurate data. All of these data management tools, forms, videos, and resources can be found on the Department of Labor's Community of Practice. When you begin planning or reviewing your program's data management practice, visit these key tabs in the Community of Practice. Thank you for watching this e-learning series video. We hope that reviewing the MIS Data Roadmap and the other highlighted tools has encouraged you to think about your own program's data management practice. Also, we hope that these tools will help you think about and evaluate the forms that your program uses to collect, enter, and check data. Successful YouthBuild programs listen to and learn from their colleagues at other YouthBuild programs. Be prepared to share your data management practice and the tools that you use during our discussion on the 15th. Also, be sure to watch the next video in this series, where we take a look at MIS success stories.